In this video, we pick up where we left off. I've already opened the player and selected the Color and Effects tab. If you're building with me, you should have your storyline file open and completed the following: Features, Resources, Glossary, and Player Style, or the features of your choice. We also want the menus and controls to be on. If you haven't seen the previous videos in this series and want to build with me, start with customizing the course player, Features. You'll find the link in the description below. Colors and effects allow you to create your own theme. This is particularly important when you're following stringent style and branding guidelines. The colors you need will be saved in the template. You can choose to use the dark player style, which is the default. This determines the player's skin color you see in the preview. You can choose a light theme, or you can customize the theme. We'll select Custom. Background color refers to the player's skin. Click the drop-down arrow for the color selector to open a palette. You can right-click and hold while dragging the selector icon around the color panel. Releasing the mouse selects the background color. Or drag the slider across the bar below. As before, releasing the mouse selects the background color. You can also select colors from a menu of palettes. The default is the Theme Colors palette. The palette colors are shown below the selected palette. Click the drop-down arrow to choose another palette. You can choose Standard Colors, Custom Colors, Project Colors. Notice that Project Colors currently shows many of the colors I am using. We will build a new palette. I'll enter a name for the palette. If you're building with me, you can choose your own colors or use the colors in the sample style and branding guide that I have provided in the description below. I'll use blue from my sample palette for the background color by copying the hexadecimal code and pasting it into the hex field. Click the plus icon next to the hex field to add the color to the palette. Colors added to the palette appear as color chips below the selected palette. Next, we'll pick an accent color. The accent color highlights items such as the current slide in the menu. The selected tab in the sidebar, if you have one. And it shows the progress of the seek bar. I'll keep it simple and select white because it contrasts nicely against the deep blue. If you don't know a color's hex code, you can always use one of the methods I showed earlier to select the color. I'll enter the hex code for white in the hex field. I'll also add this color to my palette. The ability to build courses that are accessible to as many people as possible is a skill you frequently see listed in job postings. Storyline can help you with its accessibility-focused colors. This option helps users locate the accessibility focus indicator when using keyboard navigation. Choose a light color and a dark color for the focus rectangle so that it's visible against any background in your course. I have provided links to Articulate-supported articles that describe choosing colors in the description below. I'll keep it simple and select white, which is already on the palette for the dark background, and blue for the light background. With our dark background, you can see how this effect works on the menu in the preview. The line around a menu item shows that it's selected. You can edit these colors in your palette at any time. Click a color drop-down. Click the pencil icon to make changes. Below colors is font. Most companies define the fonts used in their content. Some companies even have proprietary fonts. Rather than applying the font text box by text box, you can globally set the default here and save it in the template. You can still use other fonts as needed. The percentage refers to the size at the top. I'll leave it at 100%. If you're following along, you're welcome to choose your own fonts. We'll use Verdana for our player font. We'll use Georgia for the captions. Below fonts are button styles. Icon is the current setting. You can also choose icon and text for the buttons. Or you can select only text for the navigation buttons. We'll leave navigation as icon. In the next video, we'll complete the player. Make sure you save your changes if you're following along. In the next video, Text Labels and More, we'll resume with text labels and complete the player. Thanks for watching.